In today's video, I'm gonna explain why you fail when you're trying to look like this and reach that 10% body fat goal. And I'm also gonna tell you how to get there. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today's video is gonna address the idea of reaching 10% body fat, why it's so difficult, and what are the three things that you're doing that are preventing you from actually getting to that goal. And today's video comes from my Instagram direct message. So if you guys are interested in sending me your questions, go to my Instagram, send them. If I don't answer them directly, what I like to do is make videos here. And if I get a question a lot, I'll kind of address it here. And this is why. The reason I like addressing these issues is because I've been doing this myself. The first time I ever dieted down to 10% body fat was 2007. I've been a coach now for 10 years, helping hundreds and perhaps thousands of people, and I've gone to school, I've wanted to learn more, and I've just experienced so much, both anecdotally and research-wise, that I love sharing this information. It's, what I love to do is, help people build muscle, lose fat, reach the physique that they're after. And so I want to tell you the most common things and the most common reasons people fail, and I want to read the question for you, and then we're going to get into it. I've tried to diet down to 10% body fat a few times now and kept failing because I would lose mostly muscle and barely any fat. I don't know if it's because I wasn't getting enough protein in or because maybe my calories were too low. I'm 5'9", 170 pounds, around 13 to 14% body fat, 2,200 calories on a cut. Any suggestions? Well, first of all, you didn't give me a lot of information to go on there. You did say you're 13 or 14% body fat, which means technically you don't have that far to go. However, this is when the sledding gets tough, when we're talking about reaching a physique, and I'll put some videos here of myself at this body fat, maybe some of my clients along the way, and I'll tell you why my clients make it when someone like yourself will fail. The most common reasons being, well, first of all, what is your goal? You said your goal is 10% body fat, but what is 10% body fat? Does anybody actually know? Really, the only accurate way to measure body fat is when you die. They can rip your body open and see how much body's in there. The rest of it is a calculation using machines, either DEXA, skin fold, and those are pretty inaccurate, right? There's a big variation and fluctuation in what body fat percentage means. So what does it come down to? It comes down to the look you're after. You want to look like you're 10% body fat, and for most of us that means we're going to have some nice visible abdominal muscles, but we're also still going to look shredded in the rest of our bodies, and that requires that we keep our muscle. And this is where I think the first thing I want to address, the first reason why most people fail, is because they get in a rush. They get in a rush to lose the body fat, and instead they lose the muscle. The things that help you build muscle are what's going to help you keep muscle. So you mentioned protein intake. So right off the bat, I have an alarm bell going off in my head. What should your protein be? Well, if you're at 13 or 14% body fat and you're at 170 pounds, that's a good number for protein, 170 grams. It's way more than the RDA, but it's plenty of protein to space out throughout the meal. So you're getting plenty of opportunity for muscle protein synthesis, or your body's ability to synthesize protein, right? So what you want to do is space that out. I would say 4 meals a day, 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day, whatever you want, but 170 grams of protein spaced out every 4 or 5 hours is very ideal for building muscle. It's also going to allow us to have multiple times throughout the day that we're having feedings so that we feel full and we feel energized, okay? So when it comes to nutrition, protein is the building block for muscle. So absolutely, if you decide to go on an aggressive cut and you just take out the protein, you're going to lose muscle. And probably as you get leaner and lose weight, you're also going to be losing muscle, and you're going to lose that motivation. So why do my athletes, why do my clients, why do I succeed where most people fail? Well, we're very dedicated with our goals, with our macronutrients, with our cardio, with tracking all those things. And so for people that are not really wanting a coach or needing a coach, I've created a free macronutrient calculator that's going to give you the exact macronutrients you should be eating for your goals based on the things you like. It's also going to help you break down your meals. I'll put it on the screen here, but I'll put a link to it below. So it's absolutely free. I don't want anything from you. Just go there, because I realize that most people just need some good information to get started. So this is where I'm going to help you guys out with this free macro calculator. So for you, my friend, that has these goals, well, that's probably the best place to start, is being consistent with your macronutrients. Eating things consistently is going to really determine your long-term success. And then I want to give another caveat to that. And this is something that I realized the first time I dieted down. I was very beneficial. My first coach gave me what are called refeed days. And a lot of times, you know, carbohydrates are restricted throughout a fat loss phase for good reason, because we have to create a caloric deficit. I would say that protein and fat are the least variable. So carbohydrates are the macronutrient group that can get restricted the most. So what happens when you restrict carbohydrates for a long period of time, you lose muscle fullness, because glycogen and water fill your muscle cells, right? So if you're depleted of carbohydrates for a long period of time, those muscle cells never really get full. Pumps might suffer, and you might feel like you're losing muscle when actually all you've done is lost muscle fullness. So through the use of high carbohydrate refeed days, which need to be planned accordingly. This doesn't mean you just go out and eat thousands of carbohydrates, but if you're, say, someone who's dieting on 150 grams of carbs, maybe once or twice a week you're having 250 grams of carbs. That helps fill out those glycogen restores. You'll feel stronger, you'll look better. Remember, it's not just about the physiology of losing body fat, it's about the psychology of seeing the changes, understanding what's happening in your body, and not getting kind of beat up by the process, because you're going to look worse at periods of time during fat loss. Get over that fact. The reason that we are successful, myself and my clients, is because we have a goal that is more important than our feelings. If every time you're dieting down you feel bad, and that causes you to go overeat or feel like you're not making progress because you don't like what you see, well, you're never going to reach your goal. Bodybuilders, competitors, we diet through the psychology. We say, screw our feelings, I'm going to push through this. The second reason people don't reach their goal is because they take an unsustainable approach to either their training or their cardio, okay? And so this is something that I've covered quite a few times in my videos now, and this is something that I've actually changed my opinion on over the years. You know, my first coach put me on high intensity cardio multiple days per week, and while I reached my goal, I realized over time that the high intensity cardio was something that I dreaded. It was very difficult for me. I got injured doing it. And so I postulated that I noticed a lot of people that were bodybuilders in the bodybuilding community, like high level bodybuilders, were really only doing slow steady state cardio, like low intensities, like walking and stairs. So I switched to that, and I'll never go back. Okay, the reason being is because low intensity cardio, and actually just calories that we burn throughout the day, are so important, okay? It's not just looking at cardio as in that's when you're burning fat. You're burning fat all day long. You never stop burning fat, okay? So what matters is how you create the deficit. Is that sustainable? And I've done a video on the idea of walking to get shredded. I literally, last time I dieted down and got shredded, and I keep talking about it, so I'll keep putting up pictures and videos in here perhaps, I only walked. I have a treadmill right there. That's the only thing I did. I started by starting outside and going for walks of 30 minutes. I'd walk around my neighborhood for 30 minutes. Once I got those walks up to an hour, I came inside and used the treadmill. Why? Because if you set the incline and speed on a treadmill a little bit faster, you can burn more calories in that session. So if you're really paying attention to your diet, and you're really paying attention to your cardio, and you're accountable, all you have to do is use those toggle switches. You can bring the calories down a little bit, bring the cardio up a little bit. You can do a daily step tracker. You can just pay attention to things. Understanding that the 24-hour window of how we burn calories and consume calories is what's going to drive the change in us going forward. The third reason I feel most people don't make their 10% body fat goal is because they don't actually understand what it means. They want to feel good all the time, and they feel like they should be able to have their cake and eat it too. And sometimes I mean that literally, but also I mean sometimes you're gonna have to feel a little bit tired. You're gonna have to feel a little bit run down. Your workouts might suffer. You might have to say no to some social events. And so it's the goal ultimately that is what you're after, but you don't mean it when you say you want to be 10% body fat, okay? So when I'm dieting somebody down for a competition, or I'm dieting down, I don't actually track my body fat, okay? I'm after a look. I'm looking for detail in the physique that fits the division that I'm coaching. Same thing with someone that's working towards a photo shoot. I say, send me some pictures of what you want to look like. I diet them down to that look. So what you need to do is pull up pictures of the person that you feel represents the look you want, and diet down until you see your body fat reach that position. And understand that there's going to be tired days. There's going to be days where it doesn't feel like it's worth it. Those are actually the most important days. Anybody can do this when it feels good. Anybody can do it when it's easy, right? Anybody can start off a diet great and lose that first 10, 15, 20 pounds. it's the few that can push through when the going gets tough that actually reach that plateau, and that's why it's so rare, and that's why most people fail, is because they're not planning accordingly. They're all excited about a look, but they don't actually know what it entails. So the fact that you're asking the question is actually very exciting for me. So I feel like your calories are in a very good place. So to kind of summarize, I really feel like, yeah, you just need to make sure you're getting enough protein. You need to make sure you're doing your cardio appropriately and not being in a rush. And you know, the one thing I've always said is it's about how you lose weight. You want to lose your body weight at about 1% per week. So if you're 170 pounds, you know, you want to lose about 1.5 to 2 pounds per week. As you get closer to that 10% mark, you're gonna probably lose a little bit less. Someone like you who's pretty lean already might only lose a pound a week. And for some people, that can be just so irritating to only see. I like to track my weight daily and look at the average over the week. That way I'm not so bothered when the scale goes up and down. Understanding that our bodies are 70 to 80% water, and that we can change multiple pounds per day just based on digestion, just based on sodium, just based on muscle soreness and sleep, okay? So all these things have a big factor, and being consistent with your routine, with your sleep, with your diet really allows you to actually see the changes that are happening. Taking pictures of yourself is also huge, front and back, so you can compare them, okay? This is what we as coaches do, but I don't think a lot of people that are just trying to reach their goal of 10% body fat actually do these things. And I can tell you the reason I finally reached that, because I had tried and failed before, I hired a coach. And the reason I succeeded with that coach was I had to check in every week with pictures, with information, and we adjusted along the way. And I took my feelings out of it. Okay, I don't feel good this week. Who gives a crap? It doesn't matter what your feelings say. It matters if you're working towards your goal. If it's something that you're serious about, you will take it seriously and you will put the effort in. So check out the free macro calculator, guys, and good luck on your way to 10%. I'm rooting for you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'd love to answer them, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.